to Sports and Politics with T. I'm your host, Tanya. Tonight we have made it back to Monday, guys. Listen, I hope everybody's enjoyed their weekend. We have made it. It is February 16th. Over half the month of February is already gone, y'all. Let's go. Yes, it is Black History Month as well. Only 28 days in the month, less than 2 weeks, and we will be in March, guys. Can you believe that? This year is just moving right along. Also, I hope everybody enjoyed their Valentine's Day. We had a lot of people out and about this past weekend, and I've heard, a lot of people enjoy with their loved ones and their lovers and everything. And again, I hope everybody enjoyed that particular holiday as well. Today is President's Day. I am actually off today as well. So we are just moving right along. Again, we're just, getting through February. Tonight, we are going to talk about some things, of course, in the political arena, like normal. We're going to talk about how President Obama, he has responded to the backlash of Donald Trump's racist cartoon that he made on last week depicting Barack and Michelle Obama as apes. Okay, so he is going to give his 2 cents as far as what he feels about the backlash and what this means for America. Also, later on in the show, we're going to talk about Nicki Minaj again. Come to find out, Nicki Minaj has been, how can I say, MAGA has let her down. Okay, so we already knew this was going to happen. Okay, she is begging for forgiveness now for going MAGA. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit later on in the show as far as why all of a sudden now she's getting a dose of reality. Okay, we're again, it was just a dumb move to me. I didn't understand why, but we're going to break that video down a little bit later on in the show. And a lot of people got their outtakes, so we're going to listen in on a few opinions and what people think and what this means as far as her career. Because some people say that her career is pretty much done. Okay, so, but anyway, let's go ahead and get started for the first topic. Again, we're going to talk about President Obama. This is on the Brian Cohen show. He is interviewing one-on-one with President Obama. They're going to talk about, what he feels about the racist cartoon. I'm going to let you know how I feel about this once it's over, and then we'll dissect this video after it's complete.
It is my honor to be joined by the 44th President of the United States, Barack Obama. Mr. President, thanks so much for joining me.
It is wonderful to be here, Brian. Thank you for having me.
So as you know, better than anybody, the discourse has devolved into a level of cruelty that we haven't seen before. What was disqualifying just a few years ago now not only feels fine, acceptable, but actually rewarded. You have administration officials saying that the victims of ISIS aggression are domestic terrorists. You have J.D. Vance coming out and saying that it's okay. You don't have to apologize for being white. Just days ago, Donald Trump put a picture of your face on an ape's body. And so again, this is kind of, we've seen the de-evolution of the discourse. How do we come back from the place that we have fallen into?
Well, first of all, I think it's important to recognize that the majority of the American people find this behavior deeply troubling. It is true that it gets attention. It's true that it's a distraction. But as I'm traveling around the country, as you're traveling around the country, you meet people. They still believe in decency, courtesy, kindness. And there's this sort of clown show that's happening in social media and on television. And what is true is that there doesn't seem to be any shame about this among people who used to feel like you had to have some sort of decorum and a sense of propriety and respect for the office, right? So that's been lost. But the reason I point out that I don't think the majority of the American people approve of this is because ultimately the answer is going to come from the American people. And we just saw this in Minnesota, in Minneapolis. It is important for us to recognize the unprecedented nature of what ICE was doing in Minneapolis, St. Paul, the way that federal agents, ICE agents, were being deployed without any clear guidelines, training, pulling people off, out of their homes, using 5-year-olds to try to
Bait their parents.
All the stuff that we saw, tear gassing crowds simply who were standing there, not breaking any laws. So the rogue behavior of agents of the federal government is deeply concerning and dangerous. But we should take a moment to appreciate the extraordinary outpouring of organizing, community building, decency, neighbors buying groceries for folks, accompanying children to school, teachers who were standing up for their kids, not just randomly, but in a systematic, organized way. Citizens saying, "This is not the America we believe in, and we're going to fight back, and we're going to push back with the truth, and with cameras, and with peaceful protests, and shining a light on the sort of behavior that in the past we've seen in authoritarian countries, and we've seen in dictatorships, but we have not seen in America." And that kind of heroic, sustained behavior in sub-zero weather by ordinary people is what should give us hope. And it should remind us that at the end of the day, the way we get a democracy that's working, the way we get policies that actually are helping working families get ahead, the way that we restore norms, rule of law, decency, it's going to be because we, citizens, are activated and paying attention and saying enough and saying, but we have a different idea of what the American family should look like and community should look like. And that is what I'm seeing across the board. So, I was on a panel a while back, and I said, a lot of the values that we say we subscribe to, during easy times, during peaceful times, it's easy to say we believe in those things.
Right, when they're not challenged.
When they're not challenged. It's easy to believe in free speech when it doesn't seem like the government's trying to crack down on free speech. It's easy to say that we believe in the golden rule when we aren't at risk of being arrested when we exercise the golden rule.
Yeah.
Right now we're being tested, and the good news is what we saw in Minneapolis and St. Paul, and what we're seeing in places across the country, including here in Los Angeles, has been the American people saying, no, you know what, at least a good number of the American people saying, we're going to live up to those values that we say we believe in. And as long as we have folks doing that, I feel like we're going to get through this.
So I hear and appreciate what you're saying about the agency of individuals as we look toward our elected officials, our democratic leaders. I think something that I've been having a lot of trouble reconciling is for so long it's felt like Democrats are solely focused on protecting norms, institutions, processes, and then you've got a Republican Party that sees what it wants and will find a way to get it. Laws be damned, Constitution be damned, rules be damned. And we're seeing that play out right now. And so, given this massive asymmetry, where it often leaves us feeling like it's a Lucy pulling the football away from Charlie Brown over and over and over again situation. What needs to be done? And do you think that our Democratic leadership and our Democratic elected officials understand that for the first time?
Well, look, I think we have to acknowledge that we've got the harder job, right? So we believe in government as a tool for good, as a potential force to create more jobs, and as a way to make sure that the planet doesn't roast, to make sure that as we move forward and the economy grows, that everybody and not just some are benefiting, and the kids are getting a good education. And what that means is that we have to think about the consequences of our actions. We have to try to figure out how do we get working majorities to actually pass laws and to implement those laws and to make things happen. Tearing stuff down doesn't require all that. So when you talk about Republicans, for example, it seems like they see what they want and they just go after it. Well, they've passed one significant piece of legislation since they've been, for all the hoopla, they haven't actually codified and institutionalized much of anything. They have poured a huge amount of money into ICE and their immigration agenda. And they've cut taxes for really wealthy people. And now they're trying to unravel a bunch of rules and norms and laws that are already in place. That's an easier job. So I say that because we should accept the responsibility and the challenge that our job's going to be a little bit harder. Because in order for us to get stuff done, like let's say the Affordable Care Act, well, we've got to cobble together a majority, and we've got to persuade, and we've got to convince. And so I do think that there's been some unwillingness on the part of Democrats in the past to break down some of the institutional barriers for us getting stuff done, just because, well, it's always been done that way. And I'll give you an example that frustrated the heck out of me when I was president, which was the filibuster in the Senate. The Senate is already structurally skewed and anti-majoritarian, right? It's hard for majorities to get stuff done, whether it's trying to pass civil rights legislation in the 60s or trying to get gun control legislation or what have you, because even though majority of people support it, Delaware and Wyoming have the same number of senators as California, right?
Now, and that is true, what he just said about the filibuster. First of all, I want to just interject for just a second. Do you see the difference in a president that is well versed, very intelligent, very calm, cool, and collected? He speaks very, very, how can I say, he lets things like this roll off his back, right? Even though the cartoon, because the whole thing was about the cartoon, you see his response to it, though. He says most Americans know that it's indecent and it's not tolerated. Okay. He is already rising above all of this, him and Michelle. Okay. He spoke about it, but notice not one time did he put Trump down. All he said is most Americans know how to conduct themselves. Okay. They know what a real president and what a real leader is supposed to look like and act like and be like. And the fact that he is classy, that's one thing I will say about the Obamas. They have always been classy people in their delivery, in their response, how they handle, just the media, how they handle insults, how they handle people just attacking them. You know, it takes someone very, very strong to rise above all of it. Kind of like when Michelle Obama says, when they go low, you go high. Okay. This is a prime example right here. He's the type, he's not gonna make a big deal over it, but at the same time, he's gonna let you know at the same time what is expected as a leader, you know. And this is what we need in this world, in America, especially. Okay. So I wanted to kind of dissect this because I just like the fact that he went ahead, he said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and address this, but I'm not going to spend too much time on this because he knows what he's all about. He's racist, and we all know that for a fact. Okay. Now, let's talk about Nicki Minaj. She's begging for forgiveness now because she jumped on the MAGA train. We'll go ahead and get into this, and then I'll dissect it once it's over.
Nicki Minaj taking back every single thing that she's said over the past 2 weeks was in fact on my bingo card. Now, unless you've been living under a rock, failed pop and R&B mistake, Nicki Minaj decided to stand on the wrong side of history. And by doing so, well, she effed around and found out. Here's the crazy part. She's now backtracking every single thing that she said, saying she was played, she was used. We all know she was just trying to get a pardon and, well, pedophiles protect pedophiles. We all know that. I digress. But here's the crazy part. She's begging for forgiveness. She's saying the old her is back. She's going to make music for you. She was played by that side. That the card that she was given wasn't for citizenship. It was actually just a souvenir. F around, find out. Play silly games, win silly prizes. She's now lost, I think it said 150 million listeners on Spotify. You can block her on there. So
150 million subscribers gone. Just like that. Just like that, guys. I mean, you jeopardize your career over MAGA?
the only way to show these people that they're on the wrong side of history is to take away their finances.
So Nicki Minaj is now taking back everything she said. She's apologizing. I'm not MAGA. I'm not supporting this because you got played is how you're trying to spin this. No, you know they're going to suck on anybody that kisses the heels of the ground they walk on. And of course, you had a big name and in front of a lot of people, and you done that up. Apology not accepted, no takesy backsies. You thought you were going to get a pardon and you're going to be able to be here. You're going to get your green card and all that. No, that's not what happened. They're not going to do that for you. They just wanted you. They just wanted that name, the face, the publicity, little key or whatever they gave you. That wasn't the golden ticket to freedom. They're not honoring any of that, as they shouldn't. Why is it the same people that just keep defending these pedophiles, huh? In their own life and in the public eye? Oops, sorry, I digress. Let's get back to it. Anyways, honey, you are done. Canceled. Caputo. Finito. You've already spoke your mind. You can't take it back. That's what you believe in. Your true colors showed through, and we're not going to accept it. We're not going to allow it. Can we cancel somebody that big? Or actually, I don't even think we have to. I think you canceled yourself. So thanks for letting us know who you are and what side of history you're standing on, because it's not the right one.
So apparently, Nicki Minaj is claiming that the old her is back. She's going back to making music, and, you know, she wants her fans to accept her apology. Because after she found out that Trump's gold card is not an actual pass to a citizenship here in the United States of America, it was just a complimentary souvenir. So basically, Trump and his administration played her. They were like, thank you, but you're not worthy of being a USA American citizen.
So I just watched the Nicki interview and literally got the whole rundown on like what she was saying. And my opinion is that you need to leave the trans issues and the decisions up to the doctors and the professionals. Like really, I don't think anybody is trying to force you.
Hello guys and welcome to the Joy Report, where we get an outsider's view and an insider's clarity. Nicki Minaj has always been known for being unapologetic, which is why this moment feels so strange. Not because she apologized, but because it doesn't seem like anyone was waiting for one. At this point, the conversation has already moved past her words and into how her fans feel about what those words revealed. And for a lot of people, an apology now doesn't feel like resolution. It feels late. Before we proceed, all credit goes to the creators of these videos. You'll find all their acts in my description box. But for now, let me play you a few more clips and I'll be back with more commentary.
I messed up because it was supposed to be. I said I ain't got it.
Don't nobody want to hear that shit. Not one person is listening to you. Not one. The people that you were pandering to, they like, we got our money's worth. We ain't pay nothing for her to do all the shit she did for us. And they know the black community will not welcome you back. We want a Candace Owens pile. You want a Stacey Dash pile. Nobody gives a fuck about your apology. You understand? You knew exactly what you were doing. You were trying to get citizenship. And he gave you that gold card. And then they came right out and said, that shit don't mean nothing. We ain't signed no paperwork. We ain't signed no paperwork on that shit. That shit don't mean nothing. And then you found out it don't mean nothing. And then you dug a little bit deeper and said, who's gonna come see me at my concerts? If I write a book, who's gonna buy that shit? Not the motherfuckers you was pandering to. Now it's nobody. Oh, my bad. I'm gonna ask a question. I'm sorry. I gotta ask a question. Raise your hand if you're going to listen to Nicki's music or go see her in concert or she doing a personal appearance somewhere. You going? I just need to know who's going to support this sellout.
Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj is trying to use the name of Jesus to save herself. She is exposing the wicked industry because now the devil is coming to collect. Now the devil is telling her her time is up. Now she want to expose the industry. Not because that's what was truly in her heart, but now she feel like, okay, if I'm going down, I'm taking all y'all down with me. You could have been exposed the industry. You could have been exposed the wickedness that was going on. You could have been turned and gave your life to Jesus Christ. But now you are trying to use the name of Jesus Christ and save yourself like you wasn't a part of everything that was going on. Don't try to expose Hollywood now because the devil is coming to collect. You know what you signed up for. And now it's time to pay up. You don't want to pay up. So you're trying to expose the industry like you wasn't a part of that industry. You can't expose the industry without exposing yourself as well. Expose what you were indulging in the industry as well. Expose everything. But these people turn on the industry like they're not a part of the industry because now their time is up.
Over the past couple of weeks.
Oh, that's very interesting. Very interesting. Because, hey, like I said, she had a motive behind what she was trying to do. Some people said it was the pardon. Some people said it was to get citizenship. Donald Trump gave her a gold card with his picture of his face on there as a souvenir. Okay. It wasn't because she thought it was, I guess, meaning that she was good. Like she can become a citizen. When in reality, like that previous gentleman was saying, they never signed any paperwork on that gold card. It was just a card to show a souvenir with his face on it. Okay. So now she's saying she's sorry. She felt like she's let down and this and that. Meanwhile, all her followers are pretty much gone. Nobody's going to support her because, you turn your back on I just didn't understand now. Why now? Then some people said that, she was trying to get a pardon for her ex-husband who was, I guess, allegedly accused of child sex trafficking and some other stuff too. So, it's just crazy. There's always a selfish reason why people flip the script. Now, some people do come to Christ and some people do turn their lives around and, see the light and all of this. But like that gentleman was saying, you can't just say now everything is evil when you were partaking in that evil yourself, So, if you're going to do that, then you need to come clean and confess everything that you were doing as well, because, it's just, that's hypocritical, in other words, right? So you see for yourself, it didn't even take long. She went MAGA, about 2 months ago? And already she's already seeing that, oh, these people really are not for me, right? I mean, we've been saying that since day one, you know? And hopefully she has learned her lesson going forward. Okay, but we're going to still dissect it a little bit later on Thursday. We're going to still dive a little deeper into this to see why all of a sudden that she did have a change of heart. But this is just a highlight showing you that already she is getting back out of that MAGA train. Okay. But anyway, guys, I hope y'all have enjoyed the show. Yes, join me back. Join me back on Thursday at 8 p.m. I will be back with Sports and Politics with T, and we're going to go even deeper with the political arena. Okay. All right. And also, starting next Wednesday, we're going to get back into fun and entertainment with T. We're bringing back the relationship sector as well. We took a break from it just to kind of redo the channel just a little bit to kind of get it a little bit better. And I think you're going to enjoy it a lot better. Okay, so tune in on next Wednesday. We're going to start back the fun and entertainment with T sector with the relationship channel and entertainment news. Okay, so, but if you enjoyed the content, please hit like, share, and subscribe. And also, if you can, please hit the notification bell. That way you won't miss any episodes every time I come on to YouTube. I will be back again on Thursday at 8 p.m. And I hope everybody enjoyed the rest of their week. And I will talk with everyone on Thursday at 8 o'clock. Take care. See you on Thursday. Bye-bye.